Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to the video. This is another paid request, this time for Gia, who wanted me to do a topic video. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, reactions, commentaries, reviews, re-reviews, randomness, out of the blueness, wherever it may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box under the video. And this is for me to compare the 1990 Ninja Turtle film to the 2014 Michael Bay Buttfest. That's like comparing a 20-year-old ginger woman to getting gingivitis. That's like comparing watching Peter Pan or sucking on a Peter Pan pecker covered in peanut butter from the brand peanut butter. That'd be like, I don't know, do you want to jump into a swimming pool or jump into a pit of acid? Do you want your nuts licked by a 30-year-old woman? You want your nuts bit by a 30-year-old goat? I'm like, the choice is clear. Clearer than those damn soda commercials. Which do you want, Pepsi or Coke? No, I want Mellow Yellow. 1990 TMNT, hands down, knockout, KO against the 2014 Blasphemy that was Michael Bay's produced puke-faced, pit-stain, butt-fucked Central. I mean, if you compare it with story, the 1990 movie has a serious moment where Raphael gets put into a coma and Leo is watching his own brother, hoping he'll make it, and when he does, you have this heartfelt hug. You have jokes that maybe some of them are silly and they're of their time, 1990, but they work for what they need to be, and they're charming, and like Mikey just employing his personality, you're doing impressions of Rocky Balboa and stuff. While in the 2014 film, it's discombobulated because they changed the damn plot. Just the original idea was about aliens. That's why Michael Bay did a presentation they're from another world. I'm like, the fuck you talking about? Michael Bay didn't know shit about it. If you showed him sewer sharks, the designs of those characters, you call them Ninja Turtles, he would have thought it was the same goddamn thing. As much as I like a lot of Michael Bay films he directed, he's not the greatest producer. And he's not the greatest when it comes to other people's material. He works better in The Rock, Bad Boys 2. Well, I did like The Island and Pain and Gain, to be fair. But Transformers, he directed those? No. These films he produced, both this and the 2016 film, they sucked. One eats ass, one eats dick. Whatever your preference is, it's neither of mine. If it's either yours, cool. To each their own. Just like 2014 film. People like the film, to each their own. I don't want to eat puke off a dirty ass bowling ball floor. Bowling ball? Yeah, the bowling ball went over, greased everything, got into the little 3 holes. You try to put it in, it feels like you're sticking your finger in ice cream and yogurt. You roll it down, it takes it with you, takes your fingers off, and they're gone with 3 fingers. Right, enough for Minnie Mouse to have some fun while you're behind Mickey Mouse's back. Which I'm sure when they do those fucking porno films, when Mickey Mouse goes in the public domain in 2024, at least Steamboat Willie some aspect, there'll probably be some people doing that kind of shit with Steamboat Willie, getting his willy wet, literally. That's a whole other topic. But the 1990 movie, you have good, they're in real within the camera and the other actors. 2016, CGI, it's not just the fact that CGI, it's awful designs. Big, thick, fat, mongoloid. Some people don't like me using that word. I'm sorry, that's a word that is a real word. Don't get offended by it. Doesn't mean I'm talking about you. I'm talking about them. 4 chupacabra looking, fuck faces. If the Michelin Man fucked Shrek, and they had 4 babies that should have been aborted. That's these 4 numbskulls in the 2014-2016 films. Dumb, Dumber, Dumbest, and Dipshit. Fuck all those 4. Splinter, Tony Shalhoub, that Splinter comes off as a dickhead, choking his sons and throwing them. You have the Splinter in the first one, actually came off as a loving father. Tries to actually talk to Raphael and tries to understand his feelings and, hey, I'm here for you, my son. While Raph's crying. And the 2014 Splinter is like choking one, like throwing them like they're your dirty laundry. Or your sock that you fucking snapped a good fucking fap into, you throw it across the fucking room. The villain, you actually had Shredder. Here you got William Fichtner, and then you got this Shredder. Then William Fichtner was going to be Shredder, and they know that was stupid, or someone came to their senses, and it didn't matter because William Fichtner felt like just stuck out as a sore thumb. April O'Neil, whether it's the first or second of those older movies, Paige Turco or Judith Hoag, they felt more natural as April, while Megan Fox, I mean, I would say she'd be in the porno version of April, but she'd be a Kati because she wouldn't take off her clothes. Megan Fox can't act. She never could act. I don't know why people think she could act. She could never fucking act. Name one fucking movie she acted in. Actually acted. Not Jennifer's Body. Not, what was that Western with James Brolin that no one fucking remembers? Jonah Hex? Huh? Did she act in the Transformers movies, or did she take her clothes off? It was a Tati's. I'm like, you know what? Take them all off, or get the fuck on my face. Because Megan Fox like, if you don't like this, you know, you Ninja Turtle fans, yeah, I don't like it. It's dog shit. The Turtles look like the Michelin Man butt fucked in a humpback whale. And I had these 4 losers. Dopey, Greasy, Dimpleton, and Dumbfuck. Fuck the 4. They got bulletproof shells. They're so goddamn big and strong they can lift an entire container where multiple cars can be in and throws it. So they're as strong as the Incredible Hulk. They have bulletproof shells. They could go down a mountain and annihilate a Humvee. What the fuck do they need martial arts for? What do they need the martial arts for? Does the Incredible Hulk do martial arts? Is he going to do kung fu kicks? Is he going to learn the teachings of Bruce Lee or David Carradine? Is that what Incredible Hulk? No. Because the Incredible Hulk, when you're bulletproof, your shell's bulletproof, and you're goddamn strong enough to do this shit that they do in those Michael Bay produced movies, there's no martial arts to be had. And then the few that they do look ridiculous because I'm going, look how strong you are. You hit this guy one time, his head should pop off like a Pez dispenser. How is it that Raphael could go down a snowy mountain, smash into a Humvee, and literally crush it like a can? Like you take a can, you do this. But this guy's, you know, this turtle's trying to kick this guy 3 times. He's dead. Every bone in his body's been bristled and they're sugar coated. They're as dense as sugar. You snap, crackle, and pop, and you feed it to the kids. There ain't nothing left in that man's body. It just comes off as ridiculous. We have these big, tall, 9-foot tall, 8-foot wide butt fuckers on national TV, Dwayne. They look ridiculous trying to do anything. Which is probably why in the second film there's even less martial arts. So the designs in 2016 are awful. The way they do it goes against whatever is Ninja fucking Turtle of anything in the past. They're agile, they're ninjas, they sneak, they use stealth, they use martial arts techniques. You don't need to do that if you're, again, 9 feet tall and 8 feet wide and can be that goddamn strong. Again, you take the 2014 film, Raphael lifts a whole container and throws it like the Incredible Hulk would do. It's ridiculous. The voices, I'm not a fan of Corey Feldman in the 1991. I prefer the guy in the sequel, Secret Ooze. But Raphael worked well with his Brooklyn accent, and Leonardo, Michelangelo, yeah, Robbie Rist, Brian Tochi. Those voices fit those characters perfectly. Here, oh, Donnie, his voice is so, but it's hard even for me to remember because he's the nurse. He's got glasses. He's got tape. He's got the Steve Urkel look. Ready for him to say, "Did I do that?" Leo, he looks like the most of the Michelin Man, and Johnny Knoxville just doesn't fit as a leader type of voice. Raph trying to be a wannabe Batman voice, and someone even makes fun of it for that. Tony Shalhoub, anytime I hear his voice, I think of Monk. It's a jungle out there. Oh, it's a jungle out there. I keep thinking any minute now Splinter's gonna try to do all the monkisms. Because I love the TV show Monk. And just the way the designs and Shredder looked like a goddamn giant Gensu knife. Fuck out of here. If Gensu knife meant Megatron. I mean, the fucking... The action scenes? Really all you have is that snow mountain sequence, because that's the one they advertised, and if you watch the trailers, they show pretty much the entire goddamn scene. Give me old school practical effects with stuntmen go toe to toe with actual human beings any day. Actual contact. They're within the same realm of reality. I don't have to go, okay, that's CGI. No, I don't have to do any of that. The jokes, I almost forgot about that. You know what the 1990 film didn't have? It didn't have dick erection jokes. It didn't have fart jokes. It didn't have Mikey looking at Megan Fox and going, I can feel my shell tightening. Oh, as in your dick's getting hard. Surprised you didn't pull it out. You didn't have the turtles getting stuck in a fucking sewer tunnel, and Mikey's facing one way, the others are facing the other, and he farts in their faces because he had too much pepperoni. That scene alone should have been null and void for the entire fucking film. I don't know why anyone who's a fan would give that film a praise. From that fucking scene alone, you literally had Mikey fart in his brother's faces. I remember there was a time where this got the same rating as the first movie from 1990. Are you fucking kidding me? Don't get me started on that Casey Jones from 2016. Oh, it's the guy from Arrow. I don't give a fuck about Arrow. And this Casey Jones with the shitty hockey mask, short hair, he's a cop, and he had as much personality as a dipstick. As much personality as a baton. You look at Elias Koteas in the original film, he had charm. Because the original basis of that character is Jack Burton from Big Trouble in Little China. That's what Cam Neesman said in one of his books. Elias Koteas brought that out. You're claustrophobic. You want to punch him in the mouth? Never even looked at a guy like that. That's something like Jack Burton would misinterpret and say. But this guy... I'm sorry, the action scenes sucked. In the 2016 film, it felt like there was less action. This is what it felt like. And what was the big action? A 30-second scene on an airplane and they're rolling down the rapids as if they're up the creek. A fight with Crane, which is almost the same goddamn fight as with Shredder. I'll give you, Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze, there's really no fight at the end. But the fight they have with the Foot Clan I enjoy. I at least like that part. I'm not going to sit there and say the older films are perfect. You call it nostalgia and all that. I still think Raphael should have been the lead in the first movie, like in the third act. I think it should have been him that saved Splinter, not Casey Jones. I think that would work better with the story. Fuck Vanilla Ice and everything in his dancing. I don't think you need that in Secret of the Ooze. Would have been nice if you saw the Secret of the Ooze and the film called Secret of the Ooze. But I enjoy those films. I've talked about them before. There's many reasons why I enjoy them. I enjoy the character, family moments, which you don't get in the second one. I mean, in the second one, I was thinking of the 2016 one, or even the 2014 one, the second batch of those movies. In the second film, A Secret of the Ooze, I did think of little moments of the characters interacting with each other and being a family. In the 2014, 2016 films, I don't. I can't think of any fucking scenes. They try to give Raph some speech that comes out of fucking nowhere at the end of the 2014 one. And then no one ever remarks on it. No one comes up and says anything about it. Doesn't follow up on anything that could be genuinely heartfelt. 2016, they bring up this interesting idea of this ooze to turn them into humans. That seems like a really interesting brotherly discussion and moments you'd have Mikey, wishing that he could be part of the crowd, and Raph sitting next to him, and Mikey almost begging him, but knowing it's wrong, and tearing up because he was called a freak or something, and Raph like side hugging him. That could be like a quick 2-minute scene at most. Does that have to be soap opera? Not going for an Oscar? You just do something. Especially when it's been 14, 16 years since the very first 1990 movie. 2014, it'd be 14. 2016 would be 16 years. Do better, not go backwards. They do nothing. They literally have the worst dialogue I've ever heard in a fucking movie in 2016 where, well, you're a brain. Well, you're too hot-headed. Well, you're too much of a leader. I'm like, Jesus Christ, who wrote this? I say I tear with crayons, but I think he wrote a better script. And at least it was a little more colorful, because at least he used different colors. Red and green and blue and shit. Whoever wrote those films used, I don't know. Maybe they're dead. They pissed on it. Try to, you piss in the snow, try to make work. That's what they did, the writers. They pissed with the sticks of dicks. So it's not just Michael Bay. It's the people who wrote the 2014, 2016. If they see this and they get offended, I don't give a fuck. You offended me. The writers of the 2014, 2016 films and the directors, you offended me as a fan. You offended me as a Ninja Turtles fan by writing this stupid fucking garbage, then do a goddamn thing with the characters. You didn't do a fucking thing with the characters. You didn't do anything. I'm not asking for Oscar caliber. I'm not asking to be the Shawshank Redemption. But when Marvel films at the time, when they were worth a shit, like Captain America films, they at least did something. Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, same year as the 2014 Ninja Turtle film, did something. You did nothing. Fuck's sake. But yeah, Gia wanted me to compare the 1990 2014 film. 1990 film is a good family film, but it also works as a film itself. Yes, there's lingo and jargon and dialogue that could maybe be labeled, not maybe, labeled as of its time, of that 90s slang. But it still had enough old school practical action, had enough of a heart, you cared enough about the characters, some nice techniques of direction, where they could just go, they were just on a farm and relaxed because they knew they had to do some work with the characters. I wish they'd pushed it more, but they've developed a little bit of April and Casey. You have this little bit with Leo and Raph, and Splinter saying I love you, Mikey crying. I think they had more Mikey and they cut it out because there's a if you read the comic book adaptation, there's a bit where Mighty is very pissed off and angry and tear everything apart because he can't be the happy-go-lucky anymore because one brother's in a coma and his father's missing, and I wish they kept that in. I really do. But I at least that must have been filmed, and so that I like that attempt, which would never be in these new Ninja Turtle movies. Not even, they would never even think of it. Just go, well, that's ridiculous. Yeah, just like a guy in a batsuit is ridiculous to treat it seriously until you do, and now you can only see it treated seriously. Can you imagine someone making a goofy Batman movie again? No. People's heads would explode. Well, maybe not everybody, but a good chunk of people's heads would explode. And you know what? Part is like nowadays, where you could maybe take these characters, but no. Nickelodeon, Paramount, they don't care. Instead, you don't get Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen now taking part in these characters. I shudder to think what the hell he's going to do with them now. Shit. Fuck, shit, fuck. The music, who the hell remembers the musical score in the 2014 film? I'll tell you one aspect I liked. I liked the song at the end of the 2014 Shell Shock. I do like that song for what it is. I will admit, I do like that song for what it is. You're about to get shell shocked. I like the beat of it. I like the tone of it. I do like that song. Whoopi Goldberg, she felt like out of place in that movie. She really did feel out of place. Just like Laura Linney, I think, was in the 2016 one. She felt out of place. It seemed like in the original idea of the film, there's going to be more of April and Raph sequences where they're together. Like, there's a deleted scene, like a picture where they're part of like a, there's like a parade and Raph's trying to blend in because there's all these other costumes, and I can't remember. I don't know what that original movie would have been like. Could have been way fucking worse. I know the actors who worked on that film hated working on it, the 2014. Because there's an interview with Alan Ritchson who talks about how they were treated like shit, and they were not, not just money wise, but just they were treated like third hand, second hand, even though they're the title characters. And Alan Ritchson, you can find an interview, I forget what YouTube channel, but it's on, just type in Alan Ritchson interview, you'll find it. And so, yeah, maybe I can't really blame the actors who voiced it. And maybe I would say the actors, the voice actors, they were hired for a job, they had a shitty script. Jonathan Leesman, I'm disappointed in him because I actually like Darkness Falls and I actually like Battle of Los Angeles. You got pussy whipped by Michael Bay. I think that's what happened. You had a shitty script and Michael Bay bossed your ass around. Does this try to look like a Michael Bay film, but it's not a Michael Bay film? Doesn't nearly have as much action or gusto as Michael Bay film. So it's like try to be Michael Bay and failing at being a Michael Bay film. Like, try to have the camera angles and stuff like that, but it's not as visceral as a Bad Boys or The Rock, and not as badass, not in the slightest. And people say I'm cynical. On this channel, back in like 2011 or 2012, it's still up. There's news of this coming up. And I'm like, man, I kind of look forward to that. Yeah, I actually said that because I'm like, I like a lot of Michael Bay's films, and man, if you did like a Bad Boys movie, you just have a fun movie, and big explosions, and really go for broke. And the Turtles are the Turtles are more the stars in the 1990 movie. Yeah, you have the stuff with Danny and his dad, but the Turtles come in within 5 minutes of the goddamn movie, and there's work with them. Then okay, work with April and Danny. Fuck Danny. I don't give a shit about Danny. But it goes back to the Turtles pretty quickly, and their father being missing and Raphael being in a coma. It still feels centered on the Turtles. Unlike this, well, it felt like 2014 felt like forever before they came into play. And it still felt like more Megan Fox and William Fichtner's movie. In the 2016 film, it was just more bullshit. Do you fuck about crying? Yeah, Beaver and Rocksteady looked at their dicks. And what great fights did they have with the Turtles? A plane fight that lasted 30 seconds? Chased down the river? And then the police officer, it's not even Casey, his brother, Chauncey Jones. Police officer Chauncey Jones defeated Bebop and Rocksteady by himself. They had a guy, because he's from Arrow, the TV show, defeat these two guys by himself. And they're so big and massive. To have the Turtles do it, you have this guy do it. He defeated both of them by himself. So there's always got to be Rocksteady. Yeah, what do they... How's the fight with them and the Turtles? How's that go? Yeah, it's the sound of silence. There's more of a fight between them and Tokar Razor. At least they defeated Tokar Razor in the 1991 movie. Tino didn't just come in and just defeat both of them by his fucking self. They took teamwork to defeat the two creatures. It was more practical and better looking. So, there you go. So, I don't know how else to compare them other than the 1990 and Secret of the Ooze are much better than the 2016. Garbage jokes, fart jokes, dick jokes, Megan Fox sucks. Direction, those suck. The CGI sucks. The design is god awful. Big old fucking nostrils you put a coat hanger on. Get some fucking chapstick on them. Or lip block or something. They have the face a mother would hate. And drown them when they were babies. That's kind of faces those fucking abominations have. Again, your shells are bulletproof. You're as strong as Incredible Hulk. How the fuck are you going to do martial art fight scenes worth of any shit? With a figure that big and wide against a person that's much smaller. And then when they are against bigger, they barely have a fight scene anyway. You know the ninja part of Ninja Turtles? People complain about how they took the weapons away in Secret of the Ooze. There's still a lot of times that they actually use martial arts against the Foot Clan. And that's more of a kid's film compared to these newer ones. So... Hey, give me... See, I wasn't burping until I thought of this fucking Michael Bay produced shit. Now I'm just burping. Got too much gas, and if I don't stop, it's gonna come on my ass. It's like this movie could come out of my ass. That 2014, 2016, they didn't come out of my ass. The rest stinks. So, we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.